Kids, get a piece of paper, a pencil, some colored pencils, and a ruler if you like straight lines.
Thank you, baby. All right, today we're going to learn about standard form and slope-intercept form. The first thing you're going to have to actually know is the difference between standard form and slope-intercept form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c, which you can graph a line with. Slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Now, for most of us, we understand that B is going to be our y-intercept. M is going to be our slope. Most of us forget that, so I'm going to teach you another trick. M actually is going to stand for man. Man. And B is going to stand for ball. We're going to think of it like football. So M is going to be our man. This is going to be our receiver. It's going to be the route he has to run. So how many he has to go up and over or down and over. B is going to stand for the ball, which is on this y-axis where the ball is starting. So we think about it like football. You think about like what yard line is the football player on. So if we look right here, this equation that we have, negative 7x plus 3y equals negative 21, is already in standard form. But to get it into slope-intercept form, I need y by itself. But y is not by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see what is happening to y. So y right here is being multiplied by 3, and y right here is being added by a negative 7. So we kind of can look at it and say, well, if I want y by itself, I have to undo what is being done. So we're going to always undo addition and subtraction first. So we're going to add 7x to this side. Draw a little line. We're going to add 7x over here. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So we're going to cancel. So that would step 1. 3y comes down. I'm going to go ahead and switch these spots. It doesn't matter as long as the symbol goes with the number behind it. And I switched them because if I look at this formula, it has the coefficient, which is the number in front of the letter, and it has a constant, the number by itself at the end. So I just switched them places, and now this is starting to resemble this. I still don't have y by itself because y is being multiplied by 3. So you always do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying by 3 would be to divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 will cancel, so I'm going to be left with y by itself. 7 cannot be divided by 3, and because they're both prime numbers, it would just stay 7 over 3x. And then here, negative 21 divided by 3, and negative divided by a positive is a negative. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So now I have my equation of my line. My equation is y equals negative 7 over 3x. I'm sorry, positive 7 over 3x minus 7. So our slope is this right here. This is the route that the man has to run. So our slope is 7 over 3. Our y-intercept is right here. It's this negative 7. And that's what yard line the football player will start on. So I'm going to explain it very simply. Y-intercept is where our football player starts. Okay? So what that means is we're going to go to negative 7 on the y-axis. Right here. And we're going to put a giant dot. So we think about this like football. This is your quarterback. What yard line is he on? The ball is on the negative 7 yard line. So therefore, the ball is right here. This is our origin. So I just put a little 0 for us. Now, that's our y-intercept. We did that. Great. Now we have to go pay attention to our slope. Our slope is the route that the receiver will run. According to this, we are going up 7, and I know it's up because this is positive, and we're going to go over 3, and I know that's to the right because it's also positive. So our football player right now has the ball on the negative 7 yard line. Our receiver is going to run his route, so he's going to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3. And I can draw a dot. And the receiver could catch it there. However, we're going to see where he can go also. So we're going to do the same sequence again. We're going to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Over 3. 1, 2, 3. The receiver could also catch it here. Okay? We know that I'm not a stickler for straight lines, but Annabella is, so she made me get a ruler. So we're just going to connect the dots. And now we have the slope of a line and the equation of the line and the y-intercept, and we actually drew the line. So let's look real quick. Y-intercept is right here where the ball goes over the y-axis. That was our last number. The slope is the route that the receiver ran. He went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's how we found the slope. All right, so let's do one more equation. I'll give you a second to write that real quick. Alrighty. So again, this is in standard form. AX plus BY equals C. When I say plus, it can be a plus or a minus, no big deal. But the problem is we need it to turn into Y equals MX plus B. So we need Y by itself. So I look at Y. Y is being multiplied by a -5. It's also being added by a 10. Now, even though it doesn't say added 10, if there's not any symbol right there, we know it's a positive. Therefore, it would be a plus 10. So the opposite of adding 10 would be to subtract 10x from both sides. This side, of course, would cancel. That's our step 1. We're going to bring everything down. So -5y comes down. Equal sign comes down. I need it to look like this formula, so I'm just going to trade these spots. -10x would come in the front. And remember that symbol goes with the number behind it. 25 doesn't have a symbol, therefore we know it's automatically a positive. So step 2 is to look at y. Is y by itself? Nope. Y is being multiplied by a -5. So we have to do the opposite, which would be to divide by a -5, which we have to do to all sides. So we'll cancel. So now on this side, we would finally be left with y equals a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that leaves me with 2x. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So now I have my equation. My equation is y equals 2x minus 5. I know that my slope is this number in front of the x, which is a 2. Now, if I'm going to run a route, I have to run up and over. So anytime you have a whole number, it's the number over 1. So 2 over 1 is the same as 2. Therefore, because they're both positive, our receiver would go up and to the right. Now we have to see where our receiver is going to start. If I look right here, this is where the y-intercept is, which is going to be where the ball goes on the y-axis. So here's our y-axis. The ball will start at -5 on the y-intercept. So we think about it again like football. We're going to go to our football field. This is the middle of the football field. Our ball right now is on the -5. So I'm going to put a dot on -5. All right, that's where our ball is. That's where our quarterback is. My receiver has to go run his route. So I'm going to look at the slope. The receiver runs a route as 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up 2 over 1 and draw a dot. Up 2 over 1 and draw a dot. And I'm going to keep going until I finally get all the way off of the graph. Okay? Now if you notice, the receiver ran this way, but we know straight lines can go back and forth. So if we went up and to the right, we're going to have to do the opposite to bring the line down. So instead of going up and to the right, now we're going to go down and to the left. So down 2 over 1. And then, of course, we're going to connect the dots. All right. So here we go. Our quarterback started on the -5 yard line right here. Our receiver ran the route of up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. This up 2 over 1 that we're doing, this is our slope. This right here is our y-intercept. So this would be your M. This would be our B. So there we go. I hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions, always let me know. Say bye.